I've lived in Ramsgate for 12 years now, and I've been a councillor for 3. I think I know it pretty well. And I woke up this morning thinking, can the town I've lived in for so long still surprise me? Today, I'm going to walk through Ramsgate with fresh eyes and see what I discover. But before we go, it's time for breakfast, prawn cocktail on toast. Marco Pierre White gave me the idea.
Prawn cocktail with toast. Cool. Delicious. Prawns on toast.
I'm not sure it was for breakfast. But anyway, London Road, Ramsgate. This is the way many people come into Ramsgate from London and other places too. Maybe by car or on the bus. Walking down London Road towards Ramsgate, we come across number 8 London Road, which has a blue plaque outside. This is where John Le Mesurier, the Dad's Army actor, lived for 13 years until his sad death in 1983, where he died just a few yards down the road at what was Ramsgate Hospital, but is now flats. Comedy fans still come to Ramsgate to look at the house and also to go to his final resting place, which is in St George's Churchyard at the top of Ramsgate High Street. So, not that surprising, so let's move on and find something else. The Grange Road roundabout. Ramsgate boating pool. Now this is surprising because it was built originally in 1929, opened as a bandstand in the centre where the water is now, and dance floor. It was where all the flappers in the 1920s and 1930s, the fashionable people came, and there was an arena surrounding it which seated 2,000 people. Plus, of course, the buildings that we see there now were opened as tea rooms. In 1961, the bandstand was knocked down and it was filled with water, turning it into a boating pool. And today, there's a specialised model boat society who use the lake early in the morning on Thursdays and Sundays, I think it is. When I was there, I met a very interesting guy called Johnny, and I did a bit of interview, and here's a little segment from that. It's about the pedalos, which if you don't know are the little boats on the boating pool, and he converted the original 1960s ones into planters.
And then I had this brainwave. Why not put these back in here so people can see them?
Good idea.
Lack of faith gives me shivers. Ease my mind, I'm almost bleeding. Help me out, stop the river.
I'm walking down Grange Road towards St Augustine's Road, and my flat. Notice the flint wall to my left. Is that surprising? Well, anywhere else it might be, but in Ramsgate there are quite a few of those. If you want to join me on future adventures, and I hope you do, then please subscribe to this channel. Now let's get back to Ramsgate. Straight ahead there's a narrow roadway called Screaming Alley. That's Pugin's house called the Grange. Next door is the Catholic church with a big bus parked outside. So it must be Friday. Let's talk about Augustus Northmore Pugin. He was born in Bloomsbury in London in 1812 to parents who had fled the French Revolution. His father was a renowned architect, and Augustus followed him into the profession. He was to become the leading exponent of the Gothic revival movement in Britain. In case you didn't know, Pugin is the guy who designed the interior of the Houses of Parliament, the Big Ben clock tower, and numerous churches around England and Ireland. He converted to Catholicism at the age of 23. Now, I'm not going to give you the whole biography. I'm just going for the interesting bits. He had no connection to Ramsgate when he sold up a grand house he had built for his family outside Salisbury and moved here in 1841. Pugin wasn't just an obsessive Christian and groundbreaking architect. He was an accomplished sailor. He built a tall tower on the top of the Grange, not simply because it looked medieval, but because he kept a telescope at the top, scanning the English Channel for ships in distress. If he spotted one, he'd head out himself to help rescue the sailors. Get inside the Grange if you can. It's absolutely amazing. It's hard to believe that this extraordinary house came within a whisker of being demolished before the Landmark Trust rescued it in 1997. Pugin designed every room for a specific purpose. So instead of long corridors, all the rooms are arranged around a central staircase. I've been inside a few times now, and every visit reveals something new. The original wood panelling, the beautiful stained glass, Pugin's family crest woven into the wallpaper, and those fireplaces that he designed himself. And you can stay there. It's not cheap, but, well. He also built a grand church next door, entirely at his own expense, and gave it to the Catholic Church. At the time, there was a strong anti-Catholic feeling in England, and fearing religious riots, Pugin made sure the presbytery was built like a fortress with a fortified front door. Pugin packed an extraordinary amount into a very short life. He married 3 times, fathered a large family, and revolutionised Victorian architecture. Proving that they were truly chips off the old block, Pugin's 2 eldest sons established St. Augustine's Abbey across the road in 1860. This was the first monastery to be built in England since the Reformation. The monks stayed there till 2010, when it was taken over by a Christian community from Kerala in India. And that's yet another unexpected Ramsgate, India connection. Have I told you I'm going to India in a few weeks, by the way? Well, India can wait because we're in Ramsgate at the moment. Here I am continuing my walk down towards the entrance to my flats. I suppose you're wondering what made me move to Ramsgate in the first place. Well, 12 years ago when I got divorced, it was basically the nicest, cheapest seaside place, fairly close to London, I could afford. And well, as you'll see in a few seconds, you can see why I chose this flat in particular, and I've been here ever since. When I first came into this flat almost exactly 12 years ago, this is what I saw. Apart from the discarded breakfast things, of course they weren't here at the time. It was the view, basically, if you're wondering what I'm on about. I just walked into the door, but never mind. This is my balcony, and that's the view. There's the harbour, Ramsgate Royal Harbour down there. Nice bit of garden, greenery here. And that's the Pugin's Grange just beyond those trees. One thing you might have spotted if you know Ramsgate is that all this happened within 1 kilometre from where I live. On the West Cliff, there's loads more in Ramsgate we haven't even touched yet, so we can look at that in future videos. We didn't even look at Spencer Square, which is literally 100 metres to my left, which is where Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, whatever they call him, lived as a student. So there's loads more, and we're going to go all over the world. So stick with this channel, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. The Grange Road Roundabout.